Welcome to yet another episode of the Expat Corridor. Today we are here with Somdatta and Steven in the city of Uithoorn, and we are going to hear about their fascinating story. Thank you, Somdatta and Steven, for welcoming us into your house. So Somdatta, let's start with you. Or maybe I'll actually call you Som, since I think everybody calls you
Sure.
Som. So let's keep it short and sweet. So Som, you've been an expat in the Netherlands for a while. You've also been an expat in other places. So tell us a little bit about your experience being an expat in the Netherlands.
So it's an amazing experience, of course. Being an expat in Netherlands has been special, especially with having married a Dutch guy. But I think the Dutch society is really more open, and when you look at it from the European, the continental side of Europe, the Dutch society is very much open to accepting expats. It was an easier integration because the first point is language. At least in the Randstad area, we see that people are, especially in our generation, most people are speaking English, or at least is happy to try it out. So it was definitely much easier to, work with them, communicate with them, and also, well, I enjoy one thing about Holland very much. Especially, I've lived in England, I've lived in Belgium, and I've lived in the United States as well. What I really liked about Holland is the cleanliness. That's something that appealed to me. I had the first time when I came to Holland, I was actually then living in and working in Belgium, and it was springtime when I came, so the beautiful flowers were there, and I was like, oh, amazing! What a beautiful place. Just 1.5 hours away. It's clean and everybody speaks English. I had come to Amsterdam, of course. So yeah, it was a lovely experience. It's always been a nice experience, except the weather, the rain and the wind.
Indeed.
Because after the first introduction, it became
Autumn at a
also
certain
autumn and
moment.
winter. That's a different season.
Indeed. So yeah, that's the only complaint I have about Holland. Couple of others, but then I'm really integrating, so I'm able to complain on everything.
Right. And so, Steven, I mean, because Som referred to the fact that it's easy to integrate, it's a very open society. I think there is no debate about the Netherlands being an open society. But do you have the same impression about expats coming to the Netherlands, that it's easy to integrate in the culture?
Yeah, it is easy to integrate up to a certain level because the common language is English, and you can actually get to manage. You will be able in English to manage quite a number of things. Not only a quick conversation, but you can also participate in expert conversations at work, but also you can deal with the authorities in English here in the Netherlands. Shops, everywhere where you have to go, in hospitals, etc. So that works very well. The next level, and that is getting fully integrated in the Dutch cultures and know all the expressions, etc. That I see is for some expats slightly more challenging, mainly due to the fact that you need to have a lot of history around the period that, for example, I have grown up. Things that I saw on TV, etc., which have become expressions, or where people are movies, or where people are referring to.
Right.
But I have also seen that actually it counts the same for me the other way around.
Okay.
I also have not the Indian, let's say 80s, 90s. I wasn't there,
Right.
but need a lot of
True.
adjustment.
True.
But that's okay. It integrates relatively easy in the Netherlands.
Yeah, fair. But there is also this perception that well, the integration just from a culture standpoint is difficult, as you mentioned. But there's also a perception that it is difficult to culturally or socially integrate. Actually, socially integrate, because the perception is that expats tend to move in expat circles, whereas it's very difficult to sort of break into a Dutch circle. So if you talk to many expats, you see that they don't have a lot of Dutch friends. They do, but not as many. Is this something that's something that you recognize as a Dutch person here?
Yeah, and I definitely, but also I see here that people from a country, actually, even if they are abroad, they tend to look for each other,
Right.
and they form the circle. So even if I would have gone, for example, to India, I'm pretty sure that I go to the Dutch expat community, but due to marriage, I have an easier entrance, but otherwise it is very complicated to truly integrate, and that I also see with the Dutch.
Okay.
But I see there are sufficient ones who have foreign friends, but it is often a little bit separated from the Dutch things.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So you both been married for a while now. Mm-hmm. So how easy or how seamless or how difficult has that transition been for both of you?
Well, it was it was not so easy in the beginning. We got married a while after we were together, so in the beginning it was quite difficult for me because what I saw was Steven used to eat by 6. His dinner, and for me the dinner time was always 8:39. So I was like, oh God. So it was very funny, so these little things were quite funny. Always there's a cold lunch. Incidentally, very recently, and this I'm sharing because the other day I was at a client office, and one of our clients is a Dutch guy, and he said, come to the cafeteria, and he said, yeah, so we have some warm meals for you, you can pick up something. And I picked up a sandwich and a small salad, and he's like, you're having a cold meal? You've become so integrated. I said, you know what, I've lost the habit of having warm meals in the afternoon. But Steven has also lost the habit of eating at 6. So we've come somewhere around 8:30. So, over the years, we've built it up together. There are some concepts which are difficult for him to understand. Certain things that were very difficult for me to get to. But at a certain moment, you just, together you grow. And as I always say, if there's a cup of tea and a cup of coffee, you don't have to mix the two in a cup and you have to drink together. That doesn't make you happy. You drink from the tea, you drink from the coffee, and enjoy both the drinks. So that's what we've tried to do. And here what I would like to mention is one of the reasons why it has been quite, I would say, smooth for me. My mother-in-law, Steven's mom, she was very, very open and embracing. It's a very special day today. Today, 3 years back, we lost her. But she was, I think, one of the persons from his family who loved me most. I have a lot of respect for her. She was always embracing me, interested in the Indian culture. So we always, many times we've discussed a lot of aspects of Indian culture. And also Oma, so Steven's grandmother, my mother-in-law's mom. Oma even spoke to me in English.
Oh.
When I met her, she was, I think, 91 or something like that. Oma was about 91.
Yeah, 91 or 92 years old. That I have to calculate.
But Oma spoke to me in English, and she loved the fact that. So I remember, when I met her, I was in a client at Strasbourg, and I used to travel, and Oma used to actually ask me, "Did you go to Strasbourg?" So she remembered. Even after a couple of months, she remembered, that I was traveling up and down. So I found it very embracing from my mother-in-law and from Oma. I also called her Oma, incidentally. They tried to make me very much part of the family, the two of them. I'm so very grateful about that.
That's a really very, very feel-good kind of story.
Yeah, indeed.
Especially, indeed. I mean, for a person from a generation that's probably 2 generations removed from us to be able to speak English and communicate in English.
Yeah, that was one of the, I have to say, core qualities of my grandmother.
Oh,
She was able to talk and to communicate with
and
everybody.
Embrace. She was always embracing everybody.
And making the team together. So what we often, what we sometimes did, because what her health should allow it, is that she wanted to go out. She was an out person who wanted to go out. I picked her up, brought her to my place. Then we met her. We made something. She had then a lovely day, and then I brought her back home.
Nice.
The Netherlands is small, so you can do these things.
True.
Kijk, that has also advantages. Huh? This is one of them. But also I have to say, it is true what you say, especially at the start, you need to get used to each other's culture and way of doing. I'll be honest, in 2010 I didn't know that you could buy rice in bags of 10 kilos.
Okay.
All I knew was the small lassi from the supermarket.
Right.
Yeah.
Neither do you know what your favorite food, Bengali food that you love so.
So, but slowly I got introduced to the kitchen,
And now he actually eats more spicy than me.
Oh.
Yeah, and even I can at least when I am down in West Bengal, I can at least order my bab dal and aloo posto. So those are the things that I have learned. But also, what I needed to get used to is many people together, everybody talking at the same time, or when we attend one of the pujas, religious events, it's very crowded. That I needed to get used to. But also, I got a very warm welcome from my in-laws, from the broader family. We also actually went last year. It was, I think, October. We were in the family house in Kolkata, and yeah, I like it a lot. Everybody is very much
So
welcoming
my
me.
uncles, my aunts, my cousins, we are a very close-knit family, and we are all very fond of Steven. So even last time, so we have a very big Lakshmi Puja, the one that's held immediately after Durga Puja, but we have it in our family house in Kolkata, and it's a big deity that we get, and there is a few days puja organized with a lot of people coming in the family. So he was very thrilled. You know, he went to get the deity.
Oh.
He went to go for the immersion in the Ganges. So he was quite thrilled.
And also, and this was a more recent example, we wanted to pick up the deity. What's it called?
The deity, yeah.
The deity. And when we arrived there, the guy who made the deity started to shout and scream something about delivery. So I said to your cousin, do we now have a problem? He said, no. This is just an invitation for opening the negotiations on the transport. Don't worry, Steven. You should not get a problem with it.
Interesting.
And then everything also there mixed and goes. But what I found amazing is I cannot so easily follow it. But at the moment that it has to be ready, apparently everybody contributes, everybody helps, and it is there.
Right.
There, just on time. Yeah, you should not be off me. And it's then amazingly well organized.
Right.
One way, how they do, and especially everybody work together.
Right.
That is what that's what I like. But
Oh,
I had to.
The other cultural thing was that, you know, for Steven, if there's an appointment at 12, then you're supposed to be there at 12.
Yeah.
For me, okay, so 12 can be 12:30, can be 12:40. As long as it's not an official appointment, it's fine. What's the problem? So, you know, so I made him understand, or when you're leaving, for a Dutch, okay, let's go means let's go. You get up, put on your coat, put on your boots and go. But he's like, oh, so when you say cholo, the first cholo, now he has categorized cholo in 3 categories. You want to share? What are the 3 categories?
Yeah, I've also learned cholo. Cholo means let's go.
Right.
That's that concept I got. But you have 3 stages of cholo when you are
In the Indian
The first cholo means that you can easily get another plate of food. You can, or you go for your dessert, or you get a drink. There's absolutely no problem at all in doing that. The second cholo means, okay, now it is no food anymore. If you want to grab another drink, do it quickly. Don't wait too long. I can still talk to you. I can have a chat with you. But I have to start to round up a little bit. And then the third cholo is then I finish my drink and maybe I start to look for my coat and then we go.
Okay. I did not know there were 3 stages of cholo, but
No, that is
Steven's.
That's how I see
We
it.
didn't know that there are 3 stages of cholo. That's how he sees it.
I'm glad you're opening my eyes to my own culture, but
That's how I probably because.
But I recognize it now. You're absolutely right. All right, just moving or switching topics a little bit. So you've been in the Netherlands for a while. You've been to India a few times. what are the common misconceptions about, say, each other's countries? Steven, first with you. You know, are there common misconceptions about India that you feel are misconceptions and that are not right?
Yeah, what you often see is that people have a very, it works actually vice versa, a very stereotyped view of the country, especially when they have not visited the country. So the first questions that I got when I told people that I went to India was whether I had a tummy issue, whether it was clean.
You had a Delhi belly.
Delhi belly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Delhi belly. That expression. Then they also sometimes know, and they also have actually no clue how you live there. They have probably seen photos from the past. Now that's always a bit the sad news items. So I have spent I sometimes have to spend a little bit of time to explain to people that I find at this moment probably the airport in India cleaner than Schiphol. I had to explain to people that you don't get ill when you look at the food, but that you obviously, like in every country, have to be a little bit careful, but that you can go to restaurants. I've also spent quite some time to explain that we live a normal life in a normal apartment and that you can just go out and get your things managed.
Right.
Then the knop, they have to click. But yeah, that is the same. I'm not dressed in orange. I'm not going on wooden shoes to my office, and I'm also not smoking pot the whole day. So that's oh, yeah, that's probably do the cheese. The pot is for the pot. Yeah, in the official version, the cheese.
Right. Fair enough.
That is, here I think, and the other thing what I think about India, and this is where I get sometimes a bit angry with what I see in the West. There's here at this moment a lot of attention for environmental things, etc., etc., etc. And we are very good at pinpointing to other countries that they should also do that. And then I think by myself, guys, is it a fair discussion? First of all, India has, God may know how much more the size compared to the Netherlands. India, when it comes to environmental things, etc., is definitely taking steps. That's what I see every time when I get there. However, they have only probably started in the 90s or in the mid-90s with it, or maybe in 2000.
No, not so later, but yeah, 80s.
It's something we have a lot smaller society, and we started way back earlier in time when getting that done.
Right.
It's not what we took 40 years for. You cannot expect from a country that is probably 10, maybe 100 times bigger than yourself to do that over a period of 30 years.
Right.
And that I also think that there can be a bit more nuance.
Right.
Because I think we started also post-independence, and then the first few years was just settling down, which was a big thing post-independence. So all those things that they have started in the 1800s or early 1900s is something we probably started in the 60s, 70s.
True.
So it will take some time for India to be there. But it's making a lot of move. One thing that I have to agree with Steven, I mean, if I see the airports in India, I mean, I'm sure you also travel a lot. Some of the airports, especially big cities, it's much cleaner than Schiphol.
Right.
Much better managed than Schiphol.
Just shuffling around on the topic, we talked about integrating into the Dutch culture. One of the big things about integrating is also sort of understanding the healthcare system in the Netherlands, which is very different to what we had back in India. You've lived in the US, you've lived in the UK, also very different to the healthcare systems there. So let's start with you to understand, how did you find the healthcare system? Were you able to easily adapt to it, or you found it something to be out of the ordinary?
So I've lived, as I said, I was living in Leiden for 10 years before we moved here, I feel that, and you always have to go to a local GP, what is called Huisarts.
Huisarts, yeah.
I think this whole Huisarts system is very bad. I've had very bad experiences. In Leiden, definitely. Later on also. I've never been happy with this whole Huisarts process. But what I've noticed very good about the Dutch healthcare system is, once you are able to go to a specialist, then you are, I think 95% of the times, very well taken care of. I recently had a surgery on my knee. The surgeon was extremely good. The nursing, the entire nursing care was so good. I mean, I could just not believe, I mean, and I come from Bangalore where the healthcare system is quite good. It's very good. It's one of the best in India or in the Indian subcontinent. But I can say I was very satisfied with the care that was taken in the hospital. But until you reach the specialist, oh my God. Yeah, I still don't like the huisarts and the huisarts system in Holland.
I think what on top of that also is not very, and there you come a bit on a cultural thing. With I know that the Dutch people are very much about, you need to express they very clearly express what they want.
Right.
And if you are not used to that and you go to the huisarts and you are not very clear and specific, then the huisarts might think, okay, there's a bit of a thing. Okay,
just
fine.
Take some paracetamol. Paracetamol is the solution to everything.
Take some paracetamol. So they look for certain symptoms, and if you tell them in the mild way, they immediately help you. But this is where it sometimes can get stuck.
Right.
And that, I can imagine and fully understand that is not always appreciated.
Right.
I have also to say that the whole healthcare system is, like in the UK, quite a bit under pressure in Holland.
UK is also not really great.
No, but it is under pressure also, workload, shortage of huisarts, etc. So there's a couple of elements on the story.
Yeah, that was one of the things actually I found relatively good in Belgium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was much better. Much better.
That's fascinating to hear. So why don't we switch it out a little bit or switch around a little bit, and let's do a quick round of like what I call rapid fire. So I'll say a few things and then you can reply back to that with either the India or the Netherlands. So let's do it first with you, Som. And then we ask you the same question, then whether you think. So food.
India.
Weather.
India.
Healthcare system.
India. Or if you go to a specialist, then definitely Netherlands.
Okay.
Over India.
Family.
Both.
Okay. The traffic.
Holland.
Finally. All right, perfect. Let's do the same thing with you, Steven. Food.
We do India.
Oh, okay, perfect. The weather.
Also India.
Oh, really?
No, but we do India.
You don't find the weather in India too hot?
Because he never goes during summer.
That is not true. I've been in during summer in Kolkata.
July.
I went for the full experience.
When?
Somewhere in June or July. I can't recall.
Well, Kolkata is hot, but not Bangalore. Bangalore is beautiful in June, July.
That helps here that I am that I like warm weather.
Oh, okay.
Although I have to say that Kolkata can be, due to the humidity, can be quite challenging, or that's a fair call. But I have to offset that against the period October till April, when it can be quite grey here.
Very, very much so.
So we have to say summer in Holland, winter in India.
Yeah, that is. I think we make that answer. Yeah.
All right, we broke the rapid fire, but let's continue. What we were at weather. All right, so the healthcare system.
I've no experience with India, so Holland.
Okay, fair enough. The traffic?
Holland.
Okay. Family?
Both.
All right, perfect. Well done, both of you. So when we talk about culture, right, I think food is a very big part of the culture. I mean, that it is culture in itself. Mm-hmm. So you have an intercultural or cross-cultural marriage. How have you managed it with the food? Is it Indian food that dominates, since both of you like Indian food apparently, or is it something Dutch, or is it just like global?
On work days, whatever is the quickest.
Okay.
So the approach is fine with me. So with food, definitely I have lost the habit of eating warm meals for lunch. I don't have it. And when we go to India, we do. but it doesn't make me very comfortable. I feel too full and bloated.
Oh, really?
He loves it though.
I feel like you've lost a part of your soul, Som.
I have. So what I have done is I have kind of made a compromise, and what I do is usually take a brunch around 12,
Right.
11:30, 12:30. Kolkata, I can't do that much because my mom is still there and she will make sure you have a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. But in Bangalore, when we go there, it's our apartment. So I usually organize, and I still have one of my home supports. She still works for me after so many years. She still has been with us. So she comes around 11 and she does the beds, she does all the cleaning. She makes dosa or idli or something for us around 12:30, and that's what we eat. So we try to skip lunch totally.
Right.
So food wise, dinner Indian, mostly Indian. Sometimes he cooks very well. So sometimes he makes, like, I have a comfort Dutch food which I love. It's called witlof. It's a kind of vegetable which then is cooked with ham wrapped around it and
Right.
then baked with some cheese and tomatoes. So that's something I love to eat. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, make that, make this.
You don't like the stumper?
Not at all. No, absolutely not.
Okay, and your passion for the so-called zuurkool is also
Ugh,
quite limited.
I don't like it at
Kale.
all.
That is kale, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a
But,
killer. The zurkul.
Oh, the zurkul. Okay.
The
sauerkraut.
sauerkraut. Yeah, the
sauerkraut.
sauerkraut.
Yeah.
I don't like that. No, but I love this witlof. I love a lot. But he does a lot of French cooking, and I really like it.
Interesting.
Yeah, some French dessert.
He does French cooking because he's also gone to some French culinary school, isn't it?
And he lived in France.
Oh, I
for a
have
long
been
time.
for work. I had to stay in Paris for a couple of years, and but already I liked it a lot. Is the French cuisine? So I also went to a French cooking class a couple of years ago, and it is nice. You can make crème brûlée. You learn how to make the beef meat, everything,
Right.
The
everything
gratin.
around it, but also the
gratin
gratins,
is really
etc.
nice.
Some of those recipes are actually sometimes quite simple to do. Surprisingly simple for the result that you get, actually,
Right.
which I like. Something I want to pick up because it got a bit, due to COVID, it got a bit
On the
slope
back seat, yeah.
on the back seat. So I have to pick it back again.
Right.
Back again up. But then the cooking is indeed is a nice
But
one.
he loves
Frying some
Indian
fish.
food.
So you love Indian food.
Yeah.
So you already mentioned the aloo posto and the dal, and but I'm imagining you have a different favorite Indian food or a
Yeah.
dish.
What I like is the prawn curry, the Malay
Malai curry. Prawn Malai curry.
Prawn Malay curry.
Sounds yum.
I like it. And
Mutton.
the mutton.
Ah, okay. With the goat meat.
Yeah.
With the goat
He
meat,
loves
not
that.
the lamb, but you
Yeah.
call it, but the goat
The
meat.
goat meat, yeah.
You call it mutton, but it is goat meat.
Exactly.
That I also learned.
Exactly. Yeah, that's part of the culture because we don't eat a lot of lamb anyways in India.
Yeah, and we can, especially you can cook it in such a way that it also very easily comes off the bones.
Right.
So that's really nice.
Interesting. And
Luchi is also something.
oh, luchi, yeah.
That's very Bengali.
That's
right?
very Bengali, exactly.
You do have luchi and aloo. So aloo dom actually.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
But Steven, do you know your way around the Indian kitchen? Can you cook like Malai prawn curry or goat meat or?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But in order to find the balance, I have learned that even though I cannot cook it, that I can definitely be put on the spot for cutting the onions, cutting the tomatoes, preparing the majority of the stuff.
You can boil the dal.
I
He can make the paste from the posto.
Yeah. Okay.
Poppy seeds.
I'll be put on some of these jobs, but the real cooking I can't do. And what I also noticed in the Indian cuisine, or at least when I see your mother or yourself cooking, and also a few others, is there's not really a prescribed recipe.
Right.
It is a bit like I have learned, and then a bit of this. Yeah, now it's good.
Yeah, that's exactly how the Indian kitchen works.
We cook from the heart.
Yeah, and the result is very good, so don't get me.
No.
And then I am then Dutch. We are
You go by the
talking
recipe
here,
book.
yeah, okay. Is that somewhere
Written.
or is it? And also,
So usually when Steven cooks, I'm sorry to cut, there's always a printout of the recipe, of the
Really?
recipe. That's put in front of the oven or the stove or whatever he is using. And I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? What is he looking at?
and you can also in Holland do it a little bit that you taste and you add, or you do a little bit more or a little bit less.
Right.
But that is never the whole recipe.
Yeah.
And that I found amazing.
All right. Yeah, that's
And a fabulous result. So nothing to complain.
absolutely. So you support with the cutting and the chopping, which is
Absolutely.
perfect. which is I think, I mean, yes, that's I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's very doable. But what we want to do, Steven, is we want to see how well versed you are with the Indian kitchen in terms of the spices that we have, because as you know, we have a lot of spices.
We've at least 1.5 cupboard full here.
Oh, okay, that's all right. That's a bit. I'm sure there are, but let's not open the whole cupboard. But what do we do? What? Yeah, that would not work. But what we do is we'll ask Som to get us 8 spices from the Indian kitchen, and we'll blindfold you and we'll ask you to identify all of those spices essentially. Either you can touch it, you can feel it, you can smell it, and identify it. If you can identify 5 of those correctly, then you become the winner of a nice little hamper. And we have two surprise hampers for you. One which contains a gift for your wife, and one which contains a gift for you. So if you win it, if you can identify 5 of those, you can either win something for yourself or something for Som.
Okay, now let's go for it.
So we are here with Steven now going to show us what an expert he is in the Indian kitchen. I have a blindfold, so I'm going to blindfold you, Steven, while Som gets us some of the spices that you are going to try and identify.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yeah, challenge accepted.
So
That's the spirit.
Challenge
So he
accepted.
can, how does he do it? Smell it?
He can smell it, he
touch
can feel it,
taste
yes.
it?
He can taste it as well, yeah. The choice is yours.
Okay.
Apart from seeing it, you can do everything else.
Everything, okay.
Okay.
And if you manage to identify 5 of those 8 spices that Som has prepared for us, you can win one of these 2 surprise hampers. We have in one of the hampers a purse from Michael Kors, classic multinational US fashion brand, and in the other one we have a watch from Fossil, another American classical fashion brand. So you get to choose which one you take back home if you identify 5 of those 8 spices correctly.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see how this goes.
Let's see how it
I'm
goes.
going to keep the gifts down, and as soon as you identify them, we bring it back on the table.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan? All right.
Sounds like a plan.
So I'm going to blindfold you while Som goes and gets us the spices.
Okay.
Perfect. Let's do it. Oh. Let me know if it's uncomfortable. All right. All right, Som. Let's get the spice tray. This is exciting.
Yeah.
So, Steven, we have 8 spices from your own kitchen that Som has bought for us. They are
In these little butties.
in these little batis or katoris. What I'm going to do is I am going to pass on one of these things to you. You can taste it, feel it, smell it, whatever you like, and then let us know what it is.
And here is some tissue for you.
You have a spoon in your hand, of course. You have some...
Yeah, not that I can see the tissues, not that I can see the butties, but
Exactly. So shall we get started?
yeah, we get started.
All right. Let's do something easy. So here we go. It's right here. Here you go.
Here we go. Okay. Yeah.
You can also touch it, not with the spoon, but touch it.
I can also touch
Touch
it.
it.
Yeah, I think I know this is called kaneel in Dutch.
That is correct. That is correct. It is the cinnamon bark. You've got that right. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. The second one is here. Here you go.
Okay. Nice and crunchy.
And
I like them.
you
I
like
think it's chilies.
Yes, it is. It is dried red chilies. Also correct. Didn't you find it spicy?
Yeah, but I tried not to show that. to you.
Yeah, you're brave.
Behind that blindfold, I'm sweating.
You're a brave man. You're a brave man.
Is there is a little bit of water because then I get all the taste in my mouth running up and down.
Let me get you a glass of plain water. Here is your water.
Yeah. Okay,
All right.
next one.
So we go for the next one. Here you go.
Next, the fennel.
The fenugreek, you said? No,
Not fenugreek.
it's not fenugreek.
Nee,
but,
it's the. Yeah, I think you call it in Dutch. Anijs.
yes,
Fennel.
yes, it is correct. It's the
I
fennel
don't know.
seeds.
Seeds, anise.
Yeah, the aniseed,
Yeah.
the fennel seed.
Anijs in Dutch.
Yeah, all right. You got the
Yeah.
third one right too. You're doing splendidly well. So here we go for the fourth one. Here you go, Steven.
Okay. Ah, my favorite, posto.
Ah, I should have guessed. This was an easy one for you. All right, so you're doing splendidly well. You've got 4 of 4 right. But I think the difficult ones are yet to come.
Yeah, I kept for last.
Indeed. So, all right. The fifth one is here. Here you go. I must admit, you are brave, man. I probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah, certain aspects I'm the gambling type.
Ah,
This one I don't know.
okay. These are
Absolutely no clue.
clubs,
Oh, cloves, kruidnagel, of course.
of course. Okay, so we've got.
Ah,
All right. The sixth one coming your way. Here you go.
a bit of water.
A bit of water.
Yeah,
Here you
where's
go.
the water? Komijn, cumin.
Very good. Congratulations. You've got 5 of the 8 right. We still have 2 more to go. Would you like to try them?
Yeah, of course. We go for the whole thing.
Yeah, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
So Steven, you've got 5 of the 8 right. So which means you've won the prize. But we've still 2 more to go. Would you like to
Okay.
try them?
Yes, of course.
We go for all of it then. The 6th one, the 7th one coming your way.
For the 7th one. Mustard.
I don't think so. But
Nee?
no,
That wasn't mustard.
let me. So this is actually cumin powdered. The one before was like whole cumins. This is powdered cumin. So this was
Okay.
mustard. All right, and we've got the last one, which is coming your way, the 8th one.
The last one.
And what do you think?
Mustard seeds.
These are mustard seeds indeed. So well done. You can now take your blindfold off, of course. Well done, Steven. You got 6 of the 8 correct. These are the 2 that you didn't get correct. So cloves and powdered cumin.
Okay.
But great job. And that is the chili.
Yeah, that was the chili.
And that was the brave job.
know.
The brave job that you did indeed. So, with that, Steven, you have now won a gift hamper from us at the Expat Corridor, and you can choose one of the 2 bags. In one of it is a gift for you. I think
Yeah.
since you did all the hard work, you should get one gift. But if you choose incorrect, your wife gets a gift. So choose the right one.
Then I choose the right one.
You choose the right one? I think you have made the right choice. All right, I'm going to use this too.
Yeah, use the spoon to open it.
All right. You have indeed made the right choice.
Voilà.
We have a wonderful gift for you from Fossil.
Okay.
Can I open it for you?
Yes, please. Oh, that is very nice.
Oh,
that's-
lovely.
A nice little watch from us for you for playing this wonderful game and being
Thank
a great
you.
sport that you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Som and Steven, for inviting us to your house and sharing this fascinating journey and story with us. And we wish you the very best of luck for everything in life.
Yeah, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It
you
was
very
really,
much.
Really nice experience.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you
a
so
nice
much.
experience and also good fun with the game at the end.
Indeed.
Yeah?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
You are a great sport, I must admit. So thank you so much.
Thank you.